Yo, what is up everybody? Chris here from Fake Sports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be going over the results of our last home series, of course that being the Florida Mutineers home series. And I'll be giving you guys an update on what to expect this weekend, heading into the Seattle home series, give you guys some background information, let you know how to make more informed decisions if you're going to be betting this weekend, or if you're just going to be watching. So stay tuned for that. Of course, looking back at the last event, it was really crazy, but I'll start with some of the key takeaways. Florida and Minnesota really did not have great showings last weekend. It was really surprising to all of us as they were favorites to definitely compete in that group and most likely to make the semis, one of the two, if not both of them. So it was very surprising to see them go out in that fashion. Of course, Florida didn't win a single map at their home series, which was surprising to a lot of us, considering the fact that the last time they played online, they won the event. Paris and London also had less than ideal finishes at the last event, and I expect them to try to remedy it this weekend. In the case of Paris, they haven't really made any concrete changes to improve yet, but London has, of course, added Zero into the roster and replaced Jared, so maybe they thought that was the cause of all their issues recently. We'll see how it turns out this weekend. Seeing Optic Gaming LA and the Toronto Ultra make it to the semifinals was the biggest shock of the year for me so far. As you guys remember, in the last video, I said that Optic Gaming LA would not win a single map, and of course, they made it all the way to the grand finals, so that was a shock and a half. Same for Toronto. I predicted them to not win a series at the last event. Of course, they came out and they made it to the semis, so they clearly won too. But in the case of New York Subliners and Atlanta FaZe, I called that correctly. I knew that they would get through for sure. The other teams, Minnesota and Florida, I put a lot of faith in them. I thought that they were the real deal, but they had off weekends, so that can happen to anybody. And it just made the weekend more exciting. So it was a really great weekend. If you guys haven't watched the highlights from the last event, or if you haven't watched some of the VODs, of course, grand finals were great. Any of the FaZe matches were great. Toronto put on some great matches. They had some incredible dominations. New York Subliners, of course, always exciting. Recommend that you guys go back and watch some of the key maps, some of the key highlights. It was a great weekend, and if you missed out on any of the action, you definitely need to catch up. Of course, I want to start out by just giving you guys an update on the roster changes that took place this week, because it's definitely going to be interesting to note, and it's something that you have to watch out for all weekend. Of course, looking at our first trade, we had London picking up Zero in place of Jared. Personally, I like this trade a lot. You guys know I've been a big fan of Zero over the last few years. I've been a fan of Zero before I started making YouTube videos. And obviously, you guys know I'm a huge Wuskins and Dylan fan from my Black Ops 4 videos. I was always cheering for Rec. I have so many Rec videos, so many Rec titles, so I really want these London guys to be successful, and I think Zero was the piece that they needed to really take them to the next level and consistently win against some of the better teams. Now on to the big one. I'm sure if you are a Chicago Huntsmen fan, much like myself, I've been a Green Wall fan since day one, since the days when Twitch was tiny, getting a few hundred viewers for tournaments. So I've been sticking with this team forever through second, third place finishes, disappointment, heartbreak. Optic has taken me to Spain many times and held the S, my friends. So you know what? No one can give me any flack, but I'm happy. We picked up Persini. I love Gunless. I think he's a great player, but I think the chemistry was just off, and I hope that this Persini change will really make a difference. I know in scrims they've gone 20-3 over the last days, and London has gone 30-5, so it'll be interesting to see how these two teams perform this weekend, considering the fact that they've been dominating in scrims this week, and they played some really good competition. Looking at our first match today, we have the Chicago Huntsmen taking on the Paris Legion. Personally, I think this is a 3-0 or 3-1 for the Chicago Huntsmen. I'm choosing a 3-0 just because I think Persini's pressure and the fact that the Paris Legion realistically haven't had a lot of time to game plan for his playstyle, the strategies, everything else, not a lot of information out there. I think it'll be a pretty quick 3-0. They don't really have too much intel, and the Paris Legion, they haven't been improving, so I don't see this going too well for them. I see potential for them to pick up the search, just because obviously Chicago have only had a limited amount of time to work with Persini, so their S&D strats probably aren't as refined as they will be soon. So that's the only map that I realistically see them taking. Looking ahead to our next series, of course, we have the London Royal Ravens taking on the LA Gorillas. Personally, I expect the London Royal Ravens to take this series 3-1. The LA Gorillas, of course, they have search and destroy superstars like Blast, Spark, Vivid, etc. But I just don't see them getting past London with the addition of Zero. I think London will decisively win the respawns. And I realistically see the Gorillas taking the search somewhere along the way. I don't think that the London Royal Ravens have had enough time to practice with Zero, where their search and destroy strats are like really ironed out well. I think they're going to be experimenting this weekend, and I think the Gorillas can capitalize on that. Of course, looking ahead to our third matchup of the day, this one will be really interesting. I'm a little bit unsure of the outcome. I'm favoring the Minnesota Rocker just because these guys are professionals. They game plan so well, and they really put their time into watching VOD and getting better. So I expect them to win this matchup. I think they'll be well game planned. I think they have their vetoes worked out, and I think they have a very well-defined plan for Friday. If they rematch, I'm not too sure who takes it, but I'm favoring Optic in a rematch just because they'll have less time to prepare on the side of Minnesota, and Optic tend to do better when they have a little bit of the surprise element on their side. For this series, I'm hedging the bet. Personally, this is the series that I know has the most potential to bust my bets. So I've just done alt slips where I have my wins for New York, Chicago, and London, and then I parlay that, of course, with OGLA or Rocker, depending on the ticket. Of course, looking ahead to our final matchup for the day, our marquee matchup, we will have the hosting Seattle Surge taking on the New York Subliners. I think this will be a really good series. There is potential that the Surge take map 1. They've been looking fantastic in hardpoint as of late. They've been making a lot of key improvements, and they've been looking a lot better, a lot more consistently winning against the better teams. So we'll see if they can come out hot and win map 1. If they do win map 1, I see this going to game 5. If they don't win map 1, I see this as a 3-1 victory for the New York Subliners, possibly a 3-0. Realistically, the Seattle Surge are a great domination team. I think that if they have a chance to take a map, they will either take the first hardpoint or the domination. The search and destroy, I'm not too sure about. They've been getting a lot better at search recently, but it's still not as consistent as I would like it to be. The New York Subliners, on the other hand, have consistently shown improvements in search. They made some questionable plays in the beginning, but they've really tightened their belts and they've really ironed out their strategies. So I see them taking the S&D. I also see them most likely taking both hardpoints in this series. New York has consistently been one of the better hardpoint teams in the last few weeks. They, of course, have multiple wins over Chicago and FaZe. So we'll see if they can keep the ball rolling this weekend. I really think they will. And it'll be a really great matchup. Of course, the last 2 matches of the day will be our more entertaining matches. They're going to be more exciting, guaranteed. I hope you guys tune into those. I hope you guys enjoy all of the matches this weekend. And I'm going to post my bracket on the screen, so if you'd like to bet along with me this weekend, depending on how things pan out, of course, just follow my bracket. And these are my lines. Like, as you can see, I have Minnesota Optic going 3-1. So if you're going to get risky, I would say take Minnesota at minus 1.5. I would not parlay that with anything. That should be a single bet. But in terms of what I'm bundling this weekend, I'm doing Moneyline Ravens, Moneyline Subliners, Moneyline Huntsmen as my first ticket. I recommend you guys get in on that as well. I'm also doing Moneyline Ravens, Moneyline Subliners, Moneyline Huntsmen, and Moneyline Rocker. But I'm hedging that with Moneyline Ravens, Subliners, Huntsmen, Optic as well. So if you do Moneyline with Rocker and Optic, I would recommend that you guys hedge. Do one alternate slip for Rocker, one alternate slip for Optic Gaming LA. Of course, stay tuned to our Twitter account. Link is in the description below. We'll be doing play-by-play. We'll be giving you guys betting signals each day at the start of the day, letting you know where we think that the matches will be heading. You can bet along with us, possibly win some money, maybe not. Don't have to, just a suggestion. Yeah, so that'll just about do it for me, guys. If you want to talk more COD, please tweet at me, DM me. I will add you to my betting Discord if you would like. We talk about betting signals and just rumors, news in the community. Everyone in there is pretty well informed, great lads, nothing but great things to say about the community that we have over there. So if you'd like to be added, just let me know and I will add you to the Discord. You'll become a member and hopefully you'll start making some money with us, make some pretty good calls consistently. So yeah, that'll just about do it for me, guys. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night wherever you may be on this beautiful planet, and I will catch you on the next video. Once again, this has been Chris from Esports News, and I am signing off. Peace.